I even put the headphones on. So we're going to see right here if this actually starts to pick me up. I might have to take them off because I believe there is a delay, even though I have no delay set. And so I may begin to hear myself after I've already spoke, which is definitely, it would be strange. It'd be hard for me to deal with it. Yeah, and I can see myself right there, but it's, yeah, if I give it the volume there, it appears like the lag is too much of a lag for me to be able to listen to it. You know, like on a telephone where it's echoing and something's happening seconds after you say it, or maybe not even a second, but literally a half a word behind. It's sometimes difficult to keep your head and not get confused. Well, I am going to take this time because I did see that it'll upload. It might be herky-jerky. This is my first go-around. I may have to get some better software. Maybe have to get some better hardware. Whatever it comes to, I'm going to go ahead and do it. You can see the condenser mic there over my right shoulder. It's a good one. I haven't, it didn't come with the proper cords. I need some XLR cords. This would get very boring if I went into all that XLR and, you know, just regular jacks and just, you know, the crap that you need. I have a 18 channel soundboard down here, and I have all the equipment. Just putting it together and hooking it up into the computer is my personal bottleneck. Whoever you are watching, hi. I'm the Laughing Ogre. What I want to talk to you about today is women in the military. I have no problem with females in the military. I have absolutely no problem with a female, you name it. The list is too long for me to just sit here and start saying the problem I don't have. The problem I do have is with a female in a combat situation. I'm going to talk about maybe probably 2 or 3 reasons that's the case. Number one, if they did let females into the realm of actual bullets flying over their head battle, well, they would have to pass whatever physical test that the males do. Not close, not lowering the levels, because as I just heard someone else say online today, you know, if they miss the running with the pack by 25 seconds and you're a 60 gunner, you're just shooting Talibans, man, like doggone knocking down pins in a whack-a-mole, you know what I mean? And you're waiting for it, It's said that there's only one thing that a Marine wants in combat: more ammunition, mother L. I guess I shouldn't say all that. More ammunition, suckers. Bring it on. Bring on the ammo. So if that person is 40 seconds late, you know, in a pack run, well, they're 40 seconds late with ammunition. 40 seconds may not seem like a long time sitting in your chair or doing whatever it is you do at home. But I'm going to tell you right now, start holding your breath. 40 seconds starts to seem like a long time. Go to battle, to war, with people trying to kill you. 40 seconds is a lifetime. You know, I don't think this is to a lesser degree. Because I'm not even going to get into, oh, there's girls there. Guess what? I don't even want to, you know, say too much about this, but if you think there is no, you know, going on with 2 fundamentally heterosexual males that may just be out in the bush for a long time, I don't know. I don't want to put myself in that position, and I don't know. But I would, that is not going to come into play with this rant here. It has nothing to do with whether or not someone will be getting laid, because once again, as not to put too fine a point on it, but someone's getting laid as we speak. And I've heard a joke that what the heck, I'll go ahead and tell it because go West Point, Annapolis sucks. You know, they say that 500 sailors take off on a a battleship and 250 couples come back. That's undoubtedly a joke, but it does make the point. So number one, you don't want someone that A, would be late with the ammo if they're an ammo runner, or B, wouldn't have the upper body strength to lift that ammunition up to you, wouldn't have the strength to carry it to begin with. All of these prerequisite physical abilities, and each one of our branches of service is there for a specific reason. My son is in the Air Force. I don't think, listen, I'm babbling now because this is supposed to be a rant. There's no written down anything, but my boy led me to believe that maybe the Air Force wasn't so hard. Hard mentally, and you couldn't break the rules. If you broke the rules, you paid for it. But maybe not as hard physically. The physical attributes needed for a combat soldier are there for a reason, and that reason is number one, so that soldier comes home alive. Number two, so the man to his right and to his left, they come home alive. And number three, so you can sit on your fat ass and do whatever you want to do and not have to worry about someone telling you you can't do it. At least I hope that's the case, in what choices you make, as long as it's not hurting someone or taking something that's theirs. All that said, this rant's getting out there. I have the deepest and most tremendous respect for women. My wife is my rock and my oak. She is the one that I love more than anything, and I trust her opinions and her advice more than anyone else's on earth. She is one of the last people I would take into combat with me. Not because she wouldn't be there in ways that I'm not going to share with you right now. I know that if it came down to it, by demonstration, that she would be there and she would do what she had to do with rock, stick, stone, or Sig Sauer. We used to respect women. There was a time where if a big ugly ogre like me jostled a woman on a sidewalk somewhere in Deadwood, Arizona, and some ruffian just stumbled out of the bar and seen that happen, and I knocked her off the sidewalk because I was being stupid and not watching where I was going, I might get shot. How's that for women's lib? If you spat your tobacco juice on the sidewalk in front of a lady, at the very least in 1840, you were going to take an ass kicking. At the most, the wrong person seen it. Her cousin, they may just flat out call you out, and then at that point you'd have two choices: pull your piece, or forever be called a coward and a sissy and somebody that would jostle a woman and then not stand up for it. But the whole point of that and this ramble is we have gone away from a matriarchy. Before women could vote, they voted. They voted. If you think they didn't have a tremendous amount of influence, you're living on a different planet that I'm living on. Here are the facts. We used to live in a matriarchy. You wouldn't jostle a woman on the street. You wouldn't spit in her presence. You'd never think to use foul language or abusive language in front of her. There's no way. Rape was unheard of, because if you raped a woman, I don't know how it would have maybe been in the in the East Coast. I shouldn't probably use any pejoratives, but they're great. The great cities of Philadelphia or New York City. I'm talking about where the real Americans lived at that time, where there was no law dog, where law was carried out by the citizens. You rape a woman out there, you only do it once, because they'd hound you worse than if you stole every horse in town and robbed a bank and left them all paupers. You raped one of their women, you started looking up a rope like this, wishing that, maybe you hadn't have done that. We moved from that matriarchy, from that matriarchal society where, yeah, you know, the man, the big guys got together and smoked cigars and drank whiskey, and the girls weren't allowed at the club. But guess what? The women, they made the rules. They kept it together. They told us how to vote. And nowadays, I guess they're just like another man, so we don't have that. All that said, that rant's definitely getting long. Go women. But remember, you look great in a dress. You know, a couple extra pounds is good. Don't get fat, but a couple extra pounds, and then not for my benefit or other men's benefit, for your health's benefit. Don't get fat, dummy. Don't give me the fat shaming crap. It's don't get fat. It's bad for you. I've been fat. It's bad for you. You die. But you know, a couple extra pounds on the butt area, a little round, something warm to be next to it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with the dress. There's nothing wrong with picking a man that can support you and take care of you. That, yeah, if you want to work, you want to become Omarosa or you know, some insanely famous or a successful businesswoman. Well, heck yeah, look at Carly Fiorina. I mean, we have them, and you can be one too. But pick a man that's your choice, not one where you have to do that. If it's the fact, if it's the case that you have to do that, maybe you made the wrong choice. This is only one ogre's opinion. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, check out the Laughing Ogre.